Close your eyes with your palms, masters, and slowly open your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another brilliant session of our Spiritual Tablets Awareness Programs, Masters. Today we have Srinivas Rao Surampudi. Sir is a life coach, career psychological counselor, energy healer, parenting coach, memory and mind trainer. Sir is in this field from 2014. So today we have Sir in our session to explain acupressure as self-healing therapy. So please welcome Srinivas Rao sir to handle this session. Sir, please welcome to our session, sir. Please take over, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sajana madam. So, how many of you have attended my previous session? Can anyone raise their hands? Okay, so we'll start here. So, can we switch on the video once, everybody, so that you can see whom I am talking to? All of you. Okay, so we will start here. So thanks, Soumyaji, for giving good introduction. So I will start sharing my slides. I hope all of you are able to see this. My name is Srinivas Rao and I stay in Bangalore. I'm basically from Hyderabad. I'm staying in Bangalore. So this is the Rising Lifeline is my name, my healing center name. So where we deal with the health, education, career and finance, wealth, prosperity, success and happiness, etc. So overall perspective. So as we grow in our lifetime, so this lifeline is growing. So this is hence the name of Rising Lifeline. So I worked in ISRO for about 13 years, ISRO Satellite Center, and worked for about 12 satellites. I was working on orbit determination and predictions as senior scientist. In Hewlett Packard, I worked about 16 years, and I was various management activities I have done, management roles. So I was India operations manager when I quit my job in 2013. So then onwards, I have been pursuing my interests, particularly over a period of time since 1993. I started learning. I started with learning acupressure, and then subsequently pranic healing, access consciousness, bachelor in this color therapy, hypnotherapy, pyramid vastu, numerology, DMIT, meditation, parenting coach, etc. So these are all we learn from parents. When we are in the womb itself, we learn. So with all the due respects, and then namaskars to all my gurus who have taught my mother, father, my spiritual guru, Mataji Krishnapriya, who has ashrams in Ramchandrapuram near Rajahmundry, Nagpur, and Parlakamudi in Odisha. And also my first guru is Acupressure Guru, Dr. Bojraj from ISRO. When I was working in ISRO, I learned from him. Subsequently, various other gurus who taught me pranic healing, etc., pranic healing, access bars, over a period of time. So in the last session, we have covered some of the topics here. I just whatever I tick marked here, like the career counseling based on fingerprint analysis, and career, how we know from the fingerprint analysis, psychometric test, parenting coach, etc. Then energy SOI we have covered, psychological counseling and how we do spiritual healing, health tips for the self hypnotherapy, access bars, bachelor remedies for the emotional healing. So these things and pranic healing, these things we have covered in detail in the, of course, as an introduction to the self-healing systems and alternative therapies, we have covered these things. Today, mostly I will be focusing on acupressure and for self-healing purpose, how we use acupressure. So these alternative therapies work well along with the traditional medicines, medical systems, and they speed up the healing by regenerating the healing power of the body. There are no side effects. I am not against any system here. So we can use this acupressure or any of the healing systems along with the allopathy or Ayurveda or homeopathy, etc. So in emergencies, please visit regular physician or hospitals or doctor. This presentation is bringing awareness about few systems, which I know over a period of time, which I have learned. There are so many other systems, but whatever I learned, whatever I felt more confident, and whatever I have good experiences of treating the people. So I am presenting here. So each energy healing mechanism have their own guidelines, and people are advised to follow the appropriately guidelines. The healing and cure period differs from person to person, as each body constitution is different. So for some people, it may reduce in 5 days, and some people within 1 day in one session it may reduce. So it is what we are trying to see here. So we discussed at length, but today briefly I covered because I see many new faces here. So we do the from fingerprint analysis, we find out multiple intelligence, like 8 multiple intelligences: logical, linguistic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic, visual, and musical, kinesthetic, etc. And we know the what are the learning styles of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Then the inborn potential basically will come to know from the fingerprints and their personality traits, why a person behaves in a way that he is behaving, he or she is behaving. And particularly in the learning styles in a class, when auditory teacher, English teacher is speaking, people will learn from the listening more. Teacher thinks that he is very intelligent. When science teacher writes on the board, science and math teacher writes on the board, visual people will learn faster than auditory people. Then maths and science teacher thinks that those students are really fast and intelligent. But kinesthetic energy is high for whom, that means unless they practice, they cannot learn. So such a people, once they practice it, they're learning, whatever they have learned, they write it, they draw the pictures, they write the answers, then they perform much better in class. So most of the times, these 300% they come to 33% each, but for some people auditory will be high, like 40-50%. For some people visual will be high. So that differs from what are their learning capabilities and how they are learning. Based on that, their marking and scores they will perform. So normally in schools, what happens is when children are not able to perform well in science and maths, we keep the in tuition. But in tuition also, the same way of teaching will be there. Only thing is, maybe instead of 40 people attention in the class, only 10 people attention will be there in the tuition class. So that's how, but unless we know what is the learning mode of a person, really it will not help the student even if they go for the tuition. So this is where we learning capabilities will come into the picture. So this works from the childhood to the elders also. Then 8 multiple intelligences, what we know from brain thinking patterns, the leadership, managerial skills, gross motor and fine motor skills, language and music, visualization, etc. will come to know. This particular technique we use for career counseling for the students and for a happiness quotient and behavioral quotients of the individuals, and for relationship between wife and husband and relationship between parents and child, etc. We will use this one for up to students level up to 12th standard or so. At the 10th standard, we select normally which course, which subject. For those people, we suggest based on their fingerprints and inborn potential, whether they can take up medicine or chartered accountancy or banking or engineering, etc. For those who have already joined after 12 plus, also we help them with the right thing. And those who have already joined in graduation or post graduation, like BBA, BSc, BA, or BE also, we identify based on their inborn potential, based on their leadership and gross motor skills, we suggest what course to take further. Then once anybody who is also looking for the job, we narrow down from which industry, which vertical, and which role they can perform. To that level, we have the granularity, and then we suggest guide those people for this one. And we also know, as I mentioned, why a person behaves stingily, why a person is not happy, why a person, if he is having the first stress management, we know very well why a person goes through the stress from this fingerprint analysis. So this is about, this is called the dermatoglyphics multiple intelligence test. So I have been doing based on my own fingerprint analysis when I left in 2013, my Hewlett Packard job. Somebody took my fingerprint analysis and they told as if they know me for last 45 years. They told everything very accurately about myself. Then I'm surprised. So anyway, I left my main job of ISRO and Hewlett Packard. So I took it up as a career counseling, guiding, and for many people it is useful. And then I was very happy as I was able to guide them. Yeah, this also helps in choosing their hobbies. So which also gives, like here you can see multiple intelligence. You can see the naturalistic, musical, kinesthetic, visual, interpersonal, intrapersonal. So based on which is high and which is low, their characteristics will change, their behaviors will change. Based on if the fingerprint analysis, if they are from the fine motor skills. Fine motor skills means where one can use more fluently the fingers, all the fingers. Gross motor skills is using both hands, body, and legs. So we come to know which one they can use. So the people, those who are having the musical high and fine motor skills are high, they can choose piano or violin or such kind of instrumental things. Whose musical is high and language is high, they can choose singing, etc. Then musical and kinesthetic is high, and they are intrapersonal. They can choose individual music like the singing, solo, or dance. If the kinesthetic energy is high, dance they can do. Like this, suppose if music is not high, the kinesthetic energy is high, they can be a good team, good players. If they are interpersonal, intrapersonal, individual players, and interpersonal, they can be team players. Like this, we decide and then we suggest which hobbies to take. Otherwise, many parents complain that I joined my son for the this one. I joined my son for the music or my daughter for the music, and they dropped out, etc. They will be telling. Okay. So I welcome Dr. GK sir. I think he has joined here for this session.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
Shall I give a small break so that he can address us?
No need of break, sir. Please continue. What is all about this session, sir? Today
So
here?
I'm just trying to speak on alternative therapies and how one can use heal themselves. And but the first thing I am using it as a DMIT, that is to know more about the self from the fingerprint analysis. So this is about the fingerprints, and subsequently we know the blind spots within us. We know, probably you are aware that Jawari window, known to self is open, and known to others also is open self. Known to only self and not known to the others is hidden self. Not known to the self and known to others is a blind spot, and not known to self also, not known to the others also is called the unknown area. So what we are trying to get here is, many parents think that I know everything about my child, but that is only this open area, or to the maximum extent they know blind spots. When we get into from the fingerprint analysis, we get to know we push the boundaries like this so that the unknown area will come down, so that more openness will come and more understanding and more inborn potential will be known about the individual. So thereby we will come to know from the more characteristics, how they behave, why they behave like that. And we also use the psychometric tests and the dermatographic tests, both advantage of psychometric test is at that point in time when the person is either for the job or for the mental stress related or any of such kind of a things. When psychometric test is conducted, there will be some consciousness. Consciously, they will be applying, answering the questions. But whereas in dermatographics, we'll come to know from the fingerprints, because the fingerprints are formed in the womb when child is 22 weeks, rather 12 weeks to 22 weeks. During that period, the fingerprints are formed. Okay, so now I am moving on to the next one. This I have already covered. So we work on 90 development skills, again cognitive development skills. For many children, those who are not able to perform well in the school, we take a small test of 2 hours for the online cognitive test, where we know their visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, and then their in potentials like figural aspects, symbolic aspects, and semantic aspects. When we come to know these things, and based on the different combinations, we individual test will training plan based on the individual test. We create individual training plan, and 100 hours of training will be provided. Each module, 10 modules, 10 hours each. So at the end of the program, their comprehension, memory, critical thinking, school level problem solving, creative thinking, etc. will develop. So we don't teach exactly the subject of classes, but then their ability to improve their performance in the school, it will happen. And this also will help them for the competitive exams, etc. So this basically, many people, when we try learning difficulty people, we identify through this, and then we guide those people like this in this one. So this is also one of the healing, rather the remedial measures. This is done based on the energy SOI, partnered with energy SOI and Mary Maker's concepts of structure of intellect. So whether the child has a difficulty of learning difficulty, or he is a gifted student, or mental retardation, etc., and everybody we can get the training. We assess and then train. Okay, so next, coming to the emotional healing, we do emotional healing, lot of things like sadness, stress, fear, anxiety. These things, one way of doing is through the meditation. Most of the times, even meditation, when we don't get the concentration, we don't realize it. It may take some time more. So, but here we have the various techniques, different techniques which are not very popular, but then many people in almost many countries people are using. So that's where I wanted to just highlight. There is something called the access consciousness. So sorry. So this is called the access consciousness. There are 32 points in the brain. Just by touching those points, the energy flow will happen. So there is a point here, the creativity control, money control, aging, where the aging grows. So just by touching the fingers like this here, or touching the points, 2 fingers here, the energy blockages will be removed, and there will be a pipe, so like bars we call it. Okay, so the energy flow between this point, left side to the right side, the points will improve. So here, with this technique, it's a just light touch. There will not be any pressure. So it is not acupressure, but this is a different technique called the access bars. Here, so a lot of healing will happen with this internal body rejuvenation, and people will get good sleep. And somebody who was having hand pain for several years. When she came within 15 minutes of session, this particular pain has reduced for them. And for next 2 months, the pain has not come, which we have tracked it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I understood with what orientation you are trying to teach all these alternative techniques to all our spiritual counselors. And so, masters, it's really very good to know about different types of techniques. So, to my knowledge, when I was working as an MBBS doctor in Vijayawada, Patri sir clearly gave us the spiritual health pamphlet. So, where there are about 18 systems were clearly mentioned in that pamphlet, like allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, Unani, Reiki, pranic healing, gem therapy, chromotherapy, flower bath therapy, hypnotherapy, magnetotherapy. Okay. So all these systems, they are good in their own way to work in body and mind level or energy level. So for those systems, attaching meditation and spiritual science in the form of spiritual tablets, torchlight, we need to add to it. That is what basically the spiritual tablet system will do. So that's why we created these 3 modules, and we are trying to teach the spiritual tablets as a permanent method. So here, sir is trying beautifully to give you a wisdom, because you are all from the non-healing background. So maybe some of them are housewives, some are from finance background or business background, from different backgrounds. So for you, you may not know all those systems. So whenever you are doing a beautiful spiritual tablets counseling as a permanent method, people will come to you with different kinds of healing modalities. Maybe they are already used to it. So whenever they are using different types of techniques, like sir is trying to say here, describing here, you will understand that from what perspective they are getting healed through different modalities. So spiritual tablets method is always open for the holistic system. Whatever the methods they are using, we allow them to go with that, because see, I am an allopathy doctor. So if they come with some hypertension medicines or diabetic medicines or cancer therapy, I don't interfere with the treatment. Okay. And at the same time, we don't encourage on this platform also. Personally, we don't encourage. Means we don't prescribe anyone to go for this therapy or that therapy. But if they are using it already, we are okay with it. So for you being a spiritual counselor, you have to know what kind of therapy he is undergoing, how much time he is taking, and what kind of benefit he is getting out of it. Okay, because in one way we are trying to interfere with spiritual wisdom and meditation. Parallelly, they are undergoing through some kind of alternate therapy. So with what, how it is supervening, which is giving result, that should be there in your mind. So in that way, to understand that platform, you have to know this kind of wisdom. And sir is trying to give you a great support with alternate systems. And so this will definitely help you in your practice to understand what kind of trainings they are undergoing. And sometimes here sir is trying to give you some tips about different types of diagnostic techniques. So whenever you are giving counseling, initially you can have that alternative method systems test as a starting point. After 2 months, again, you can repeat that particular test. Like in allopathy, if they come to me, I'll ask them to take an ultrasound. Today, just 1 hour before, also, I advised one hemophilia factor 8 deficiency case to get the investigations done. Because since last 8 to 10 years, he is suffering, and then he is happy now. But serially, we are trying to take the investigations to track whether he is going in a proper way or not. So being a medical doctor, I can go for any kind of investigations like scannings and MRI scans and blood investigation. But as far as alternate therapy is concerned, whatever the different alternate therapies are that are there, okay. So those, even though they are not going for the therapy, but they can go for that diagnostic tests that are there in that alternate therapy, whether it is ARA scanning or energy scanning or whatever different types of tests that sir is advising in this platform now today. So if you note down those kind of tests, uh, even though they are not going for the therapy, with the spiritual tablet, wisdom and meditation, serially you can do those tests, and we can prove that within 6 months or within 1 year, clearly there is a difference in patient's symptoms and signs that they are coming on his body or mind or whatever. So that's why getting knowledge about alternate therapies is good for you in your clinical practice to understand whatever the patient is telling, what kind of treatment he is undergoing, and how much he is getting benefited with your spiritual tablets and meditation and with that particular alternate therapy. And the investigatory methods sir is advising, that also you can understand well, and you can use those investigatory methods in the clinical practice to track the case, how best he is developed and how much he has to be, his advantages with the spiritual tablet counseling. Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving your great wisdom to educate non-healing masters who are good with the spiritual tablets in this platform. Okay, hope I am clear now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, one of the slides also it is there that with meditation, how I reduced my shoulder pain. With only meditation, I did. I was suffering from about 3 years. I suffered with the left shoulder pain, and after X-ray, they said it is something is worn out and all. But then
Yes, sir.
20 minutes of regular meditation for 7 days. There is a chakral meditation from Brahma Kumari Siktas. One doctor, Chandrasekhar, who developed it he developed for the cancer also, in fact. So he helped us, he took a session. I attended that in 2012 or 13. So that time when I have done the meditation, within 7 days, my shoulder pain has gone, and now almost 10 years, it never returned back. So what my intention here is, as you rightly pointed out, we are trying to educate the people about the alternative therapies and how it will work. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why your intention in this platform should be like, it is not to educate our counselors to advise this alternate therapies to patient God, sir. That is very clear for you as well as the audience here.
Okay. Yeah.
The whole game will spoil. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
The counselors can be educated that these type of therapies are there. Luckily, because of the current trend, allopathy, everybody know. Because Saradan to surgical cancer, everybody know allopathy very clearly. Because of our Inadu Suki Baba also, everybody came to know. But regarding alternate therapies, we know very less. But our counselors should understand these type of therapies are there. And especially if the investigatory methods are there, that definitely we can use, sir. Without interfering with the body and mind, investigatory methods are there that we can use, definitely. That I strongly suggest, because that is a method how we can prove that the meditation and spiritual tablets are working.
Yes,
right. Yes. Through investigation in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, we take 3 serial recordings, whatever the method, whether it is an audiometry or whatever the method it is, we can take. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the guidance. I'm aware. I'm not denying any spiritual tablet things. Just as a introductory, then we thought we will start off awareness programs to others.
No, sir. Actually, we have an agenda. To conduct a 2-day disease-specific workshops. We did also in the past.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That 2-day disease-specific workshop like hypertension, diabetes, gynec problems, low back pain. It was in the 2 days from morning 10 to 5.
Okay.
4 alternate therapies and 1 spiritual tablets class.
Oh, okay.
So one will come and tell about the nutrition for the diabetes. And one will come and tell about the acupressure and yogasanas, what type of yogasana and nutrition, acupressure they can do. While watching TV also they can do with the hand pressing, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So those techniques he will tell from the, and yogasana guy will give the yogasanas for the diabetes.
Okay.
Like that, whatever the best patient can do for himself.
Right.
At least 3 or 4 techniques we give. Apart from that, the basic meditation and spiritual tablets perspective diabetes disease, that also we touch. So like that, 2 days holistic workshop. Because whenever the patient card comes, our core idea is to reduce the drugs and reduce the medical treatment as soon as possible. Okay. So
Yes.
by the time the spiritual tablets work, meanwhile, they can use the best techniques from all the alternate therapies, and he can come out of the medicine as soon as possible.
Yeah, that is actually today I created some 3-4 videos of 3 minutes each, just to show that there is something called the Swiso exercise, where just they can swing their arms just by raising their feet, and how they can heal themselves with all the things, and then also foot reflexology and then hand reflexology, how they can do the back pain, how they can do with acupressure, and then also heart attack, etc. Some important points are there on this one. So I just wanted to suggest that they can apply the pressure here on the little finger, the inside little finger, which is the H9 point. Applying the
Yes, sir.
pressure
Yes,
here.
sir. So
Yeah.
here, I would like to give you one important guidance, sir.
Okay.
Usually, what we do is we conduct a 2-day disease-specific workshops.
Okay.
There, a professional like you
Okay.
can come and teach to the patients directly.
Okay, sir. Right.
So from a professional to the patient is different.
Okay.
And the people now here, they are all just, they learn spiritual tablets, and they are not mastery over the acupressure or acupuncture or whatever the technology.
Okay.
They can know that these type of techniques are exist. That's enough. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Right.
let them teach only spiritual tablets and meditation.
Okay.
And you can give them an awareness, but I don't ask them to apply these on patients, because see, every case has got its own different. So being an acupuncture scientist, you can assess the
Yeah, I
patient
know
got
that.
it, then you
Yeah.
can suggest. But for them, if you do the shortcut tips, so sometimes if something happens fatal, then we have to answer for that. Okay. But
Okay.
we have a route. Whenever we are conducting these disease-specific workshops, there definitely you can come forward, and you can send some alternate therapist in that area if they're available. So happily they can teach directly to the patient cards in that
Okay,
workshop.
sir. Okay, sir.
So that's why here it should be like, oh, these are all different things are there. Elanti unnai. And okay, awareness create చేసేంత వరకు మాత్రమే.
Okay, Andre.
But I never ఇప్పుడు నేను MBBS తలనొప్పి సారడని ఇస్తారని నాకు తెలుసు. Okay. But I cannot tell these guys to give tablet for the headache as a Saturday, which is available on the counter, because headache may come with a brain tumor also. Very clear. If there is a brain tumor inside, and if you give a Saridon tablet for the headache, the patient may die after 3 months or 4 months. So that's why they cannot apply these principles. It is very clear, but they can have an awareness that these type of things are there. And of course, the investigative methods they can use. And in 2-day disease-specific workshops, definitely directly we can teach all these things to the patients directly. Okay.
Okay.
So
sir,
from
right.
your perspective, if you have any alternate therapies, please send those numbers, and what are all the areas you can travel, that also you please inform to our admin, sir.
Okay.
And keeping you as one of the supportive, just a nutritional specialist, and you and one of our spiritual tablet together, we can do a lot of disease-specific workshops, sir.
Okay,
There
sir,
you
right.
can directly apply all these techniques to the patient gods directly.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you all. Please carry on. Yeah.
So this is one of the things like access bars. I hope you are able to see this. So in this access consciousness, it is also popular in many countries. Just by touching the points here on the head region, it will be the many problems will be solved through this particular session. Each session lasts about 30 to 40 minutes, and each point we hold for about 3 to 5 minutes. So then Bachelor Remedies is again that this is from the Dr. Edward Bach. This works on many emotional healing. This works for many emotions like adjustment issues, then fear of known, fear of unknown, then lack of courage, etc. They will be working. And one of the beautiful remedy is it is based on 38 flowers like agrimony, aspen, beech, century, etc. So about the five remedies, the five medicines combination came out with a rescue remedy, which in uses, if it is used in emergencies, it will be uh, really it works even if it is applied on the skin also, the person comes out of the ICU and emergencies will not happen. That's what is the concept of the backflow remedies. They work on more, there are 38 remedies plus 31, 9 is rescue remedy. So for many emotions will be addressed here. So particularly the uh, walnut helps for the adjustment between our body adjusting to the environment, or we are not able to adjust to the others. And known fears like aspen helps for unknown fears, like when the anxiety, particularly when the child goes to the school, parents will be very anxious till they come back. And like this, there are about 38 flowers and remedies one can learn from these. So then comes the pranic feeling. So I have been practicing pranic feeling and I've been using for basically for the self and family purpose. I was using it for pranic feeling since 97. So this is particularly the energy aura. This will be the aura will be there. So this is we call it as per this system pranic feeling. Inner aura is about 1 to 2 feet level, and outer aura is about 5 to 10 feet, 8 to 10 feet level for them. And there are various chakras that are available here in the body. So we cleanse and energize these areas by taking the energy from the uh, cosmic energy. We take it from one hand, and with another hand we try to pass on the energy or cleanse the energy. Actually, this same thing can also be done with the salt what we use in our house, which is very ancient system, and one can also cleanse their aura by using salt, by cleansing in anti-clockwise. The salt is used in our houses, and everybody like Drishti, we call it. They have been using it several times just to relieve of the pain in the body or in the aura or Drishti. So salt is used. So in specific number of times what we can rotate, like this anti-clockwise rotation by holding the salt, that also can be healed. Many problems can be healed with this. And I have very good experience of with the salt alone without changing the energy levels of the individual. So the pains will reduce immediately. So then this is hypnotherapy. I use this hypnotherapy for the self-improvement basically. This is something like what we do positive affirmations at the end of meditation once we are doing it. So and for that purpose also we can use, and to create more self-confidence we can use it. So there is a wrong notion about the hypnotherapy in the society, because people think that rather it has been created in the movies, uh, thinking that the hypnotherapy is bad, and then people cannot, they mesmerize and then they try to manipulate the other person. But unless a person is willing to get hypnotized, it will not happen. Hypnotherapy will not work on a particular person here. So this one can use this for the achieving success, for removing physical and psychological problems, for removing fears, and to create self-confidence as a self-help tool. This can be used. So normally, we know that Shavasana in yoga, this is something like in Shavasana also we suggesting our body from the toes to the head, the feet relaxing, toes relaxing, like this, giving self what you call the self uh, technique, the self relaxation technique it is. So in a similar way, when we can keep ourselves that I am going to be confident, I am going to succeed in my exam, I am coming out of my problems. Like put it, everything should be in the positive sentence, positive words. We should use it so that this helps a lot for the individual. Then again, said this is Vastu and Wellness. Why I added here is I do particularly with Vastu corrections with pyramids. There are various set of Vastu pyramids where by keeping the pyramids, appropriate pyramids in the house, we can change the energy negative by driving out the negative energy. We don't have to demolish a door or wall or anything. Just with the pyramids, we can by placing appropriate pyramids, we can keep in the house. By keeping it, we can energize the house. So one of the things, the techniques what I suggest here is cleanse your house. While cleansing your house, use salt, rock salt or any salt. Put it in the water and cleanse this house, your house or floors. So with that also the negative energies from the house can be removed. And here also there are a lot of pyramid belts are available, like back belt, neck belt for neck pain, back pain, and then knee pains, etc. They'll have the pyramids, copper and magnet in that one, and then in my experience, when we suggested to some people, as they are able to recover fast and they are able to travel with the belt for some time, and they removed the belts after some time of usage. So that's where actually I wanted to take this session, but as an awareness, I am telling here. Yeah, spiritual healing, self-healing through progressive relaxation, breathing technique. Since in 97, when I was in ISRO, we used to perform the meditation sessions for the people. About 15 to 20 people used to come, walk down and meet in one room and then see, meditate for 20 minutes. What we observed at the time is our productivity has increased and we are in a position to work longer periods without fatigue or tiresomeness. And then new ideas, new creativity, new thinking will come when we are working on the in our regular work here. So one of the things how we can quickly relax here is the breathing. This is very important. So what normally in the pranayama, Chandranadi, Suryanadi pranayama, what we follow, what I used to do from meeting to meeting, 1 hour meeting I have. So before the meeting and after the meeting, I take just a deep breath or 4-5 rounds of pranayama I do. And that way I keep myself longer, very active. That means even after 12 hours of work, continuous work, there is no the tiresomeness. So really, I personally used to work 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours in ISRO days. There were days where we worked for 24 hours during the launch period also. And even in the Hewlett Packard, when we were doing the management and reviews, particularly in international work, the time zones span from Australia, Japan to US time zones. When so many time zones, when we have to work, we have to keep ourselves very positive and energetic. So the meditation and breathing techniques used to work, help a lot. As I mentioned in a few minutes back, I had severe shoulder pain for about 3 years I suffered, but then with the meditation I could remove this shoulder pain. Okay, so yeah, there are so many things which we can work, talk on the depression, anxiety, irritability, sex drive, memory, this one, etc. So, and in the car, I just wanted to just check the time check on this one. Just to hold for a second here. Anu madam, how much time we have? The Acupressure, can I start and go ahead?
Sir, the last 5 minutes, sir, we can do, if you are finished, we can do the meditation, sir.
Okay, fine, yeah. Quickly, I will run through some slides of this one. Maybe 5-10 minutes can we extend?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, you can continue for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's good. So the energy in the acupressure, I'll just go to the other side. This is this is called the acupressure. This is a normal organ body clock. The Chinese acupressure, it will talk of the traditional Chinese mechanism. So here actually our body has, as per this, the body clock starts with 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., then 5 to 7, and like this, the lungs are active, more active. They will have high energy during 3 to 5. Then 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., the large intestine is very active. So during this period, if you go for a motion, many times it will be good actually. The large intestine, it is suggested 5 to 7 is we have to go for a motion, and 7 to 9 is the breakfast time, where the stomach will be high energy time. So that is the time where we are supposed to eat our breakfast or heavy lunch or heavy food here. So what I suggest is the opposite of this one is the low energy for the particular thing. And we also know that our body constitutes of 5 elements, and this also we learn from the spiritual tablets: earth, fire, water, wood, and metal. So these each organ also is divided into the 5 basic elements here. So what the main suggestion I would like to do is take breakfast 7 to 9 a.m. and wake up early and then go for the motion. This one 5 to a.m. Is many people, many children nowadays, they are getting up late and then they are not able to perform this properly, and they have the metabolic system problems, and then diabetes and so many other things, and the other problems are coming up. Okay, so this acupressure, here we have the zone therapy and hand reflexology. So in the zone therapy, what we call here is each foot has a body has been divided based on from the fingers. If we take it 5 fingers, each finger is one zone. By going to the root of the zone by pressing it here, the concept is, because this 5 zones up to the head here and another 5 zones up to head here, and similarly from the toes also it covers up to the head, as it shows in this body body picture. So when we are pressing the root of the nail of the thing, so the energy blockages will be cleared from here. Okay, so any energy blockage, because the main concept in acupressure is energy blockages will be removed by pressing the acupressure points or zone therapy or through the reflexology. So the whole body parts are reflected in our hands here. So I'll show this picture here. So this picture you can see here on the right side, where your these are the fingers here, top fingers, and this is the body.
Yes,
Sir, share the picture.
share the picture.
Oh, it's not coming. Sorry. Are you able to see now? Sorry for that, actually. From
Yes.
there, yeah. Yeah, so this is from 5 fingers, as I mentioned. Each finger is a zone, 5 zones on the right side, 5 zones on the left side. You can see here how these zones interact and then go up to the head level. So the concept here in acupressure is, when we go to the press the root of the nail, the energy blockages within that part will be removed. When energy blockages are removed, the energy flow will happen properly in the body. Okay, so similarly, this toes also same 5 toes, and they go up to the 5 head areas. All the 10 fingers, 10 zones, they are covered. Any blockages within that zone will be removed by going and pressing to the at the root of the nail or at the tip of this fingers here. Okay, and similarly, we see this reflexology. Body points are superposed. When foot is superposed, You can see here the lungs here, the stomach coming here this side, then heart is coming on the left side foot, and digestive system, track, etc. are coming here. So when we apply the pressure in hands or legs like this, so when we apply the pressure like this here, like this with the finger, point by point, without missing any point, centimeter by centimeter or millimeter by millimeter, just apply the pressure here. So you will be able to remove many problems related to the organs, and the organs get activated properly. And many problems, whatever that are there, one is facing, they get eradicated over a period of time. Maybe with a few sessions itself, they can get relief and do it. So this is another important point where the spinal cord, if you see here, sorry, the spinal cord is reflecting exactly into the exactly it maps with the side of the foot here, inside foot here. When we apply the pressure, definitely this particular thing will be pain in the spinal cord will be removed. So here, particularly one person came to me when I met one person. He bent forward at T3, T4 level. He met with an accident and he was having breathing difficulties and breathing problems. Just by pressing on the feet here in this area, immediately he became straight and he is able to take a breath immediately. Similarly, there are emergency points for the, and also this is for the spinal reflex, and this is for the full body reflex. Here, these two fingers reflect eye area in a U shape. These fingers reflect ear area, and this is a central portion like the nose, eyes, throat, digestive system, liver, stomach, etc. Those things will come. This area is a lung. So by applying the systematic pressure, rhythmic pressure in the foot as well as the hand, we solve a lot of problems. One example I want to give here is that when my son was 2 years old, he was getting a lot of cough, cold, fever, etc. So instead of giving the tablets, when I learned this pressure, I just applied the pressure in his feet gently, because his feet is very gentle at that time, 2 years only. So very soft, so soft touch and just massage kind of a thing, but with activating all the things like all the endocrine system, digestive system, everything we are activating by pressing here. So thereby pressing for 15 minutes per day into 20 days. He for next 10 years, till he reached up to 12 years of age, he never had cough, cold, fever, and then he grew tall also. So that way we are activating all the points in the by doing the reflexology. And I have other examples where I can quote, but today's time is not permitting. But quickly, I would like to complete this circular therapy. Similarly, if you see this ear, this is an inverted embryo in the womb. When we see this one, this area is head region and eyes region and face region. Then again the hand region, legs, and all internal organs are there here. So how do we activate? So if we go to acupressure specialists, they take very sharp edge and then they apply the pressure here to reach the inside. But what my suggestion is, while we are taking a bath, happily you can just apply the pressure even while taking a bath, or even when we are watching the TV, apply the pressure on the ears like this. Within 2-3 minutes, your whole body becomes warmth, and you feel like taking the water. So that means you are just by pressing your own ear like this without harm, and there is no side effects. Just by applying the pressure, you are going to solve your own physical problems and many other issues, whatever that are there. Okay, and with this, there are acupressure meridians. They are there like this 14 meridians, 12 meridians, starting with the heart and the small intestine, then triple warmer and pericardium meridian. Various points at various locations they are placed. So like this, lung and large liver and lungs meridian, spleen and liver meridian, stomach meridian, then kidney and gallbladder meridian, then UB, that is UB, and then governing vessel here, and then conception vessel. Like this 14 meridians, they cover many points in the body. By activating appropriately, one can solve their problems. Particularly here, one small tip I want to give here, people those are tired, fatigued, not able to do the work, just from applying the pressure here, light pressure like walk, you can do here, like this, apply the pressure here. Okay. So immediately within 2 to 3 minutes time, or maximum 5 to 5 minutes time, people will be in a position to get up from that fatigue and come out of from the fatigue, and they feel very happy and energetic immediately, because this particular energy line we are activating just by doing some from the throat in the middle point. You can just apply the pressure, very light pressure. It is a walk with the fingers. When you are walking like this, I'm not applying the pressure, but then hard press here, but simple pressure I am applying here, and then doing it here. Okay, so this is the best thing. So then we are also conducting in association with eyesight improvement, association with Acupressure Academy, we are conducting eyesight improvement program and hearing improvement program. So people those are interested can register, but then people those are masters here for the spiritual tablet, they can choose what is required and continue the follows. But one point, one important points actually I wanted to teach here. These points will help a lot to elevate yourself. So H9 point is inside of this heart point. So heart attack can be reversed or prevent the heart attack. The point is here when we are pressing inside. This is inside when we call it. This is outside we call it in simple terms. This is a point for the lung, and this is a point for the small intestine, the heart point, H9. So by pressing this, you can avert and do a lot of wonders. And this is again, this is a large intestine, it goes, and then this is lung meridian, it goes, and large intestine point is this Sarvaroga Nivarani point here, and then large intestine is again here, this side. When person is alone and they feel symptoms of heart attack, fatigue, etc., they can hold their hand here and this one. This can be used as a first aid technique before one medical aid comes to them. This one. So personally, one of my colleagues who was teaching a session, he was taking a session, he was perspiring a lot, and then he was fainting. So at that time, I just applied this heart point, lung point, and then these 2 points together. When I applied, within 2 minutes he recovered and walked to the hospital. And then later, doctor told that he was about to get the heart attack at that point in time. So like this, there are very important points: heart, large intestine, and people those are having a breathing problem and asthma problem. So this, if you see this middle finger point, if you apply here, there is a point here called the B13, bladder 13. Apply the pressure here so that the breathing problems and congestion in the lung will reduce. Second point is here like this: when we hold the hand parallel to the shoulder, just apply the pressure here like this, and lung 1 and lung 2. So these things also will release from the breathing problem, etc. So there are other things where one can learn if they are interested. So ultimately, finally, what I just wanted to conclude with this one is positive affirmations have a lot of impact on our health. One small example I give before this: one dentist asked me to remove my tooth, or he said we have to do the root canal treatment, and then and also we have to remove the tooth. Then because tooth is strong, I didn't want to go for the removal. Then I realized it, why not I make affirmations and test? I don't believe anything unless I test myself properly. So I was, while brushing daily in the morning, I was applying with my finger. So I used to chant, repeat some 4 or 5 times. My gums and teeth are strong and healthy My body is healthy, all my vital organs are working perfectly. So within 1 week time of doing this with positive affirmations while brushing on the particular gums and teeth, the pain has vanished, and then that requirement for the root canal has vanished. But after 1.5 years, when the tooth broke, I have to go for the removal. That's a different story. So positive affirmations is very important, particularly when we do the meditation and when we are in a trance or semi active stage, alpha stage, beta stage, and all those things we can learn later, some other session. So in that state, when we are repeating this kind of words, like I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, slim, strong, and fit, all my vital organs are working perfectly. So this generates positive vibrations at the cellular level in the body, and then we can see that definitely there will be a lot of positive vibrations, and then more health improvement in many aspects of life. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. So if you have any questions, I can just answer. Otherwise,
Sir, thank you so much, sir. That was amazing, sir. We read so much of knowledge from you today. Sir, shall I share music, sir?
yes, madam. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do 5 minutes meditation and we'll close the session, sir. Or you want to conduct question and answer session, sir?
Yeah, I'm open for that. So maybe you give the opportunity to people
Okay.
to ask
Yes.
questions.
Masters, anyone has any questions, you can have masters, then we can do the meditation for 5 minutes and close the session. Please come up with your questions. Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Which are the points, acupressure points to reduce diabetes?
Thanks for asking this question. There are SP1 and SP6 are main points. Like I can show you
Could
here.
you please show it in the diagram?
Yeah, I will share it. Again, please note that it is the lifestyle related issue. Okay. So we need to bring in more fiber food like bindi, bendi, and beans, chikudu. This kind of a variety of foods and green vegetables, leafy vegetables, we have to take more. That improves your digestion, because when we take this fiber food, the digestion will slightly slow down. So then thereby the release of the sugar into the insulin and sugars into the blood will reduce. Thereby you will be reducing it. So one is that following that lifestyle is again the following the timeline, as I mentioned in the beginning. Second thing is that I will expand here. So the how exactly to identify the points, we can see there is an app. I can suggest that app in the mobile app. There with the fingers from the ankle here, 4 fingers, when we measure with your own 4 fingers, the spleen 6 will come. The spleen 6 will address several points, and spleen 1 here near the root of the nail of the first toe, that big toe. Okay. So this particular point regulates the again the diabetes plus menstrual problems, scanty or high problems, or so many menstrual related problems. It will be worked on. And then there are knee points also are there, knee pain points like SP10, and then again the kidney points are there. So you need to press also kidney points after you make this one. And liver kidney point, I'll just show that. Or maybe if you want, we can take offline, though, or maybe, yeah, I'll just show the kidney point and then we'll move on. Kidney point. Okay. So these meridians appear on both the legs and both the hands. So though all the 12 organs are covered from the both the channels, whenever we press on both the sides of left and right leg, left and right hand, we have to press. Suppose if you are pressing for the heart related H9, here we have to press, and here also we have to press on the right hand also. So now the kidney point here, this is for the flushing out of the toxins. K3 here, K3 that is just behind the ankle point, 1 inch, 1 finger from ankle will come. Then case 6, below the one finger below this one will come. Exact measurements we can learn later the offline from this point. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other things?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other question? Okay. So thank you everybody for attending and listening patiently. And we also appreciate GK sir for giving us the directions as to what, as I know, I respect him because being a medical doctor, he left that and then came here and he is encouraging the meditation. So let us follow wherever possible the spiritual tablets we can follow. And these techniques, alternative techniques, why I have to explain here is they add to your health and one without intervening any other rather they help fast speeding up your healing process. Okay, so that is the one. Yeah, if no
Thank you,
other
sir.
questions, we can start the meditation. Thank you
Okay,
everybody
sir.
again for this.
Okay, sir. I'll share the meditation, sir. Music, sir.
Yeah.
Masters, please place your palms on your eyes, masters. 5,